welcome back to the most amazing channel on the internet. I'm your host Rebecca Felgate, and today we're talking about the top 10 scary Frozen theories. Now before we jump into this video, I want to ask you guys if you're excited for Frozen the sequel. What do you think is going to happen in Frozen 2? I do mention one thing on this list that could well happen, and if it did, well, it would be a can of worms. Stay tuned for that. Also do stick around to the end of the video where I will be replying to some of your comments from previous videos. Also while you're down there leaving me a comment on this one, do like it and share it with a friend who likes Frozen. Do it. Do it now. Alright, the video's here, never fear, let's do this. Coming in at number 10 we have The Cell. It seems that Elsa's parents weren't so great after all. Sure, they kept it in her room, but that was for her own good and her sister's safety, or so they probably justified it to themselves. But did they have a much darker plan B? So this theory centers around the cell in the royal family's castle that Hans locks Elsa up in. It has special chains that lock her hands up inside them, making her powers pretty useless. The only thing is that Hans doesn't actually know about Elsa's hands at this point, so he couldn't have been the one that commissioned that design feature. Were Elsa's parents behind the custom cell? Were they planning on locking up their daughter and stunting her power if she ever got out of hand? If so, that's pretty dark. Coming into number 9, Tarzan is Elsa and Anna's brother. Apparently this insane theory has actually been confirmed. So the theory goes that instead of dying in a shipwreck as we believed, Elsa and Anna's parents survive and are washed up on an island. Their mother didn't realise that she was pregnant when they set sail, but she soon realised that she was carrying a baby when they reached dry land. Their dad, the king of Arendelle, was no longer concerned with titles, he just wanted to keep his family alive. The theory goes that he built a treehouse in the jungle for his wife to give birth to the baby boy, a younger sibling for Elsa and Anna. This boy was Tarzan. Just when you think that actually this sounds like a way happier ending, let me interject. They still die. Horribly. Instead of drowning in a shipwreck, they are savaged by a leopard. Which is worse, drowning or being shredded by a wild cat? La 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 la. Disney, cheery. Coming in at number 8 we have Joan of Arc. Joan of Arc was just 19 years old when she was burnt alive at the stake, a similar age to Elsa and Anna. In Disney's Frozen we can see a painting of the fearless Joan of Arc on the wall. Now this has led to a lot of people to speculate that actually there might be some link here. The theory goes that magic runs in Elsa and Anna's family but manifests itself in different ways. Now were they related to Joan of Arc? Joan of Arc had visions and may well have been a witch, but she was burnt at the stake. Elsa also has magic in her blood, but her ice powers developed as a protection for her skill. Had Joan had the same powers, she would never have been burned. When it's ice versus fire, ice will keep you safe, especially when a witch hunt's on the cards. Did Elsa develop these in sympathy for her ancestor? Coming in at number 7, the trolls are evil. Traditionally, trolls aren't seen as good guys in literature, but in Frozen they seem like friendly fellows. They raise Kristoff, help Anna, and advise her parents. But wait, did they or did they not steal a baby and a reindeer? They could have returned Kristoff to his family, but they didn't. They also were the inspiration behind Elsa's parents locking her up. Did they inspire fear in her parents, knowing that would lead Elsa to have a breakdown one day? Some even go as far as to say that the trolls were the ones that turned Hans evil. The theory generally goes that Hans was actually a nice guy when he met Anna and stopped her from falling into the ford, but after meeting the trolls they made him a bad guy because they wanted Anna to love Kristoff and not him. Interesting. Coming into number 6, Hans isn't real. So Frozen is based on a book by dark fairy tale author Hans Christian Andersen. Now in the original story, the Ice Queen, she has a mirror that is used to obscure people's perceptions. Now the theory here goes that Hans is a play on the mirror of the original story and never really existed at all. When he is interacting with other characters, he is not really there, he's just reflecting the mindset of them. He reflects what people are feeling right back at them. When he first meets Anna, he seems just like her, awkward, sweet, dreamy. When she sees him after a blowout with her sister, she's hurt by her sister and wants a relationship to heal her, so that's what he is to her. There's a moment in which Elsa and Hans exchange glances as she unleashes her power. Now, their expressions totally match up. Hans paints Elsa as a monster because she sees herself as a monster. Now the theory goes on and it's posted on Imgur by Tasty Brain Meats. It'll mess with your mind, but honestly, it's worth a read. Coming in at number 5, Anna has fire powers, she just hasn't used them yet. The theory theory goes that a sorcerer gave Elsa her powers, whether it was a curse or not, you can decide. Now this theory seems to actually think that it was a curse. Anyway, both Elsa and Anna were cursed with powers, only Elsa has realised that she can use them. Elsa has white hair, icy icy. Anna has red hair, fiery fiery. Elsa is winter, Anna is summer. Cool. The only thing is that these powers are, well, powerful. We already know that chaos ensued as Elsa learnt to use hers and she accidentally started freezing people. I think in terms of retaining my facial features, I would rather be frozen than burnt. Can you imagine what will happen if Anna finds out that she has fire powers? She could burn all of Arendelle down. Maybe the Frozen sequel will be called Burned and it will focus on Anna's struggle not to blaze the place. Coming into number 4, Arendelle fought the clans of Brave. Some super deep divers have concluded that Brave and Frozen not only exist within the same universe, but at around the same time. Redditor, the Jarvie, said that Arendelle, which is likely on the Norwegian coast, is a new settlement that came after a war with the medieval Scots. The theory says that the kingdom is so sensitive towards Elsa's powers because they had a run-in with the sorcerer. The sorcerer used her magic for bad and it made people very sensitive when they saw even a whiff of magic. The theory also says that the medals worn by Elsa's father and the Duke of Weaselton were gained during the war mentioned in Brave. Now it's really not nice to think of Disney characters fighting and killing one another, but it could have happened. Norway and Scotland did have a lot of historical beef. Coming into number 3, Spider-Man and Elsa are brainwashing children. Elsa practically became the most popular Disney princess overnight. The success of Frozen paved the way for ELSAgate, which actually was a dark YouTube trend in 2017. Basically, there was a YouTube channel enacting Spider-Man and Elsa fan theory scenes, but these involved them kissing and him getting her pregnant, which, I mean, it's just confusing for kids really, isn't it? There is a dark theory out there that the channel was specifically aimed at children, which to be honest doesn't seem like much of a stretch of the imagination considering the colours used on the channel and the way the thumbnails looked. So why? Why would they aim this content at children? Well, the darker extension of this theory says that actually the channel was specifically created by very dark minds with the intention of sexualizing young kids, which is absolutely truly awful. Luckily the Spider-Man and Elsa craze seems to have died down after YouTube waded in a bit, and actually it makes me feel really uneasy when I think about it like this. Coming in at number 2, Hans escaped and can time travel. What? Hans breaks Anna's heart and tries to murder Elsa. What an absolute, I can't say the words for the gentleman like him on this channel, but honestly, think of the worst word that you can imagine in your mind, don't say it out loud. Hans is that. He's that word. Hans, you're a fill in the blank. He was exiled from Arendelle, but honestly I feel like he should have met a worse punishment. He could just find another person to ruin outside of the Arendelle walls, and maybe he will. So fast forward a few hundred years and there is a worrying Easter egg in Big Hero 6. A wanted poster for none other than the murderous, scheming love rat Hans. What is he doing here in the future? To me, he's clearly mastered time travel and is hanging out in the 21st century ready to hurt a new swathe of babes. Hans? No, we need to stop him. He must be stopped. Alright, finally, I put this at number 1 because it seems the most likely, and if it is true, then it is seriously messed up. That's right, KRISTOFF could be wearing Sven's mum's dead carcass. Tra-la-la-la-la, la-la-la-la. So KRISTOFF seems like a swell guy, much better than awful Hans anyway. His best mate's a reindeer, which is, you know, pretty great. What's not to love about that? A man who loves animals. Good on him. KRISTOFF and Sven are best mates forever. But there are some theories out there. Some theories say that KRISTOFF is actually a young Santa Claus, what with his affinity to reindeer and everything. But then again, there's also a theory that KRISTOFF's coat is made of Sven's mum. Right. It is indeed reindeer hide fur that he's wearing, so the theory says that his family killed the mother, used her skin for clothing, and took pity on her sad calf and gave it to young KRISTOFF as a pet. The theory says that the reason Sven likes KRISTOFF so much is that the smell of him reminds him of his mum. Ugh. Honestly, how awful. So guys, what did you think to this list? The top 10 scary Frozen theories. What are your opinions? Do you think these theories have any credibility? Do you have any more? Let me know in the comment section down below. Also, while you're down there leaving a comment, why don't you leave a thumbs up on this video and share it with a friend? Before I go, I'm just going to quickly read some comments from these scary Wally theories. You guys had loads to say. Firstly, I just want to say I'm really sorry for calling the theory chappy Matt Pratt. It's Matt Pat. I've got a quick turnaround on these videos and I made a typo in the auto cue, so I'm sorry. E Shade said, I like number 1, where Rebecca says door to time travel. I'm a big fan of time travel stories. Let's go, most amazing top 10. Woo! Fearworld Shadowblood said, my favourite Pixar movie is Monsters Inc. A great choice. Dark-Hearted Monster said, I won't tell you what my favourite movie is, you cretins will turn it evil somehow. Honestly, you might be right, we probably would do that, so yeah, keep it stum. Some of you guys want a video about the Pixar theory, and honestly I think maybe we could make that happen. It's pretty intense and I think it could definitely fill a whole top 10 list, so maybe we should do that. Let me know if you want us to do that. Once again, thank you guys for watching this video. Please do leave a thumbs up, share it with a friend, subscribe to the channel if you haven't. We're almost at 5 million subscribers. Let us know what we should do to celebrate. For now though, I'm your host Rebecca Felgate and I'll catch you soon. Bye!